thank you, Maddie, so much for being with us today. This is Voices from the Field with Katie Lively and Jaden Mount. And today we have Maddie Watson and Carrie Dever Boaz. Carrie is a former college coach. She has over 25 years of experience at the collegiate level, coaching in the SEC, the ACC, and the GSC. She was also named the SEC Coach of the Year in 1999, and she's coached in a pro league, the Washington Glory, where they won a title in 2007, and she was also named Manager of the Year for that year. And she also played at Fresno State, and she was in 4 Women's College World Series. She had 4 appearances, and 3 of them her team got runner-up. So just a few accomplishments that Carrie has had over her career. We're so happy to have her. And so thank you, Carrie, for being here. And if you want to introduce Maddie, I know she's your player. Carrie coaches Maddie, so if you can introduce her, that would be awesome.
Well, other than I feel really old after that introduction, because that sounds like someone who started it with Jesus. Anyways, Maddie Watson is one of my players on one of Jazz Beasley's team, the Impact Gold National 07 Wilmore. It's a long thing. We have all these different ones since there's so many teams out there. But I don't believe in just coincidences. I believe that God places people in your life for very specific reasons at the absolute craziest times. And so I met Maddie when her dad asked Macy, my daughter, to pick up and play for them for a tournament. It was local, so we went and did it. And I'll be honest with you, she was injured, so she didn't get to play. So she was probably not in a very good place mentally. And I was just so impressed with who she was in the dugout, just always supporting her team, interested in learning. And I think if I were to describe Maddie for me, is she's like a coach's dream because she's a student of the game. She's constantly asking questions. She's quiet, so this is not going to be an easy thing for her to do, which is completely different than everybody else in her family because they're all loud and crazy. And then there's Maddie, so she's kind of the smart one. She'll probably be the one that she carries all the boats. She'll be the doctor and fixing everybody. She'll be the bright one. But Maddie is very versatile as an athlete. She plays center field normally for me, but she could play any position in the outfield for me. And I think she plays infield most of the time, I think, for her high school, but you'll have to ask her as far as that. But she could play that too. And I think the neat thing is I think the next 2 years, people are going to really start knowing her name and who she is because she did not start softball super early. And she was coming off of an injury. So with that, who she is just probably a neater person than she is a softball player. And as far as I'm concerned, when you're my age, that means more than anything. So Maddie Watson.
So Maddie, just tell us about yourself. Tell us about your journey from starting softball to now being a 2026 grad. Just tell us about how you've grown a passion for the game and what really made you start really becoming serious about the sport.
Well, I started softball when I was 9, or no, I was 8 or 7. I was 7, and I'm sorry. I played. It was Jamie's friend. He had a team that he made, and I think I was like the youngest on the team, and it kind of just started as something I did with Jamie because I don't know, he loves sports and I did too. So I started, and then I got on a team called Swarm. It was coached by the same guy, Jamie and his friend, and Coach Dustin. He coaches my high school team now. But for a while, all I played was rec ball, and then I started playing travel ball probably when I think I was 8, and played Swarm, and then in 8th grade, I moved to Oak Forest Academy, and just so I could play softball. And Coach Dustin coaches that team. He coaches my high school team. So since 8th grade, I've started varsity. And then last fall, I joined Coach Carey's team, and that made a huge difference for me. I've grown more on Impact Gold than I have my whole softball career. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And she plays for me, so she's not just saying that.
That's awesome. That's so cool that you found a team that you grow on and really grow in your game and as a person. I think that's so important.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go into the next question. Who were you most influenced by growing up?
I was probably most influenced by my mom because she had me at a really young age. So she's always had to work and sacrifice a lot just for me. And she kind of just taught me like how to be hardworking, and I need to work hard to get to where I want to be. And I think that's helped me a lot for softball.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So tell us, like you kind of touched on being hardworking and learning that skill. So tell us about the balance of your lifestyle. I know as a student athlete, you have to be excellent in the classroom and excellent on the field, balancing workouts and travel ball and school So tell us kind of how you balance all of that at once and what you found to be helpful throughout that balancing of your lifestyle.
Yeah, so it's definitely not easy, especially with travel ball, like having to go all the way to Colorado or Indiana for tournaments. But for me, it's just been easier to balance everything. I'm like, I love to plan things and like write them down. So like if I can plan my week, it makes it a lot easier for me to get everything I need to get done without having any distractions or anything.
Yes. Planner is a big thing.
Coach Carrie mentioned that you kind of started a little bit late, but people are going to start realizing like your talent and things like that. So what qualities are you looking for in a college? I know it's a couple years away, but we kind of want to get to know you a little bit better.
So in a college, honestly, I mean, obviously I want to play softball and do what I love, but I want to go somewhere that feels like home and just be surrounded by like people that obviously will be like my lifelong friends and just people that I would like to spend my time with.
So how do you envision when you think about your college experience? I know that recruiting's kind of picking up, and that's something that's probably on your mind a lot in these next 2 years. So how do you envision your college softball experience, and like what are you most looking forward to when you're able to commit and then step on that campus your freshman year?
I'm most looking forward to definitely like obviously just playing. Like I think it's gonna be awesome to be able to play in front of a bunch of people who like love the sport as much as I do, and just be able to do what I love. And yeah, I'm just excited for it.
I love it. That's so
cool.
exciting. So
If I can say something about Maddie, I think the neat thing is that people notice her work ethic. And, we always talk about it on our team that, everyone that's playing at our level for the most part can catch or throw or hit or pitch or do something. And so it's like what's going to separate you from everybody else, because there's a lot of girls nowadays that can play. And so it's what do you do when no one's looking? And she's the kind of a kid that's constantly learning. And I think if I shared the story of the one time she didn't slide at home and I kind of tore her a new one, like just reacted right there. She's the kind of a kid that came up and said, that'll never happen again. And it hasn't. Like she learns on what she's doing, and she doesn't just learn when it happens to her. She's learning from other people on the team. And I think that's huge, because it's very easy for these players to become very robotic. People are calling the pitches for them. They're telling them what to do at all times. And I think the neatest thing is turning Maddie and the girls on my team loose. They're really picking up, because we've talked about softball IQ. That's what people want, is softball IQ, not robots. And I think she really embodies that. But we talk to these kids all the time, and especially kids like Maddie, is like, you've already played more of your career than what you have left.
Yeah.
So when you start to think about it that way, and you're only 16, and I hope to God that changes soon. I know there's pro league here and there, but it's not where it's supposed to be able to say, I'm playing because I'm going to go play for the Dodgers or anything like that. So I think she understands the word urgency. And I think that kind of comes from her family background, and you'll learn more about that later on in the interview.
I love it. That's awesome. I love to hear stuff like that. Definitely making the game better, Maddie. I can tell already.
Thank you.
So we're going to play a little game called This or That. We're going to ask you some questions, and you pick between one or the other. Okay?
Okay.
So indoor versus outdoor workout.
Outdoor workout.
Batting gloves or no batting gloves?
Batting gloves.
Yes.
Conditioning or weightlifting?
Weightlifting.
Okay. Visor or headband?
Visor.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Playing in the cold or playing in the heat?
Playing in the heat.
Night game or night game?
Night game.
Night game, yes. I'm 100% agree with you on that.
I just have a few more questions for you. We have a little hot seat question game. So what's your go-to pump-up song or a pregame ritual that gets you in the zone for a big game?
So, okay, I get made fun of for this all the time. I love the song 2 Dozen Roses.
Okay.
And, like, I will play it on repeat, and it gets on everybody's nerves. But I will listen to that song, and I always say a prayer before every game because we're playing for him in the first place. So
Absolutely.
100%.
If you could change one rule in softball to make it better, what would it be and why?
honestly, I don't know if I would change a rule because even though the rules, like, don't go in my favor a lot of the time, or some of the time, they, like, it goes both ways. So, like, if something happened for the other team, obviously I would want to go against them. So I don't know if I would change any other rules.
That's a good answer.
That is a good answer. It's a good perspective. Yeah, for sure.
That's a great perspective. What's the most embarrassing moment you've had on the softball field?
Oh gosh. So,
That's a good-
okay, I had to think about this one, but looking back at pictures, my parents used to, like, okay, when I played rec ball, they would let me wear my pants, like, all the way up to my chest, and it's, like, so embarrassing.
She has
I don't know
really
how-
long legs.
Yeah. I don't know how they let me walk out of the house like that. Like, it was really embarrassing.
Come on, you know how your stepdad Jamie dresses all the time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite post-game snack or meal?
My favorite post-game, okay, this is the only one I'm treating myself, but I love milkshakes. So, like, if I have a really good game or something, I will get a milkshake after my game. But usually it's fruit. I love to put, like, tahini on my fruit. I think it's so good. But
Yeah. What kind of milkshake and where do you get it from? Or like, what's your favorite?
well, usually it's wherever we're driving home from because we usually play far away. But I don't know. Sometimes, like, Chick-fil-A has good ones. It just depends.
Chick-fil-A does have some good milkshakes. I am right there with you. Okay, and last one. What's the most unexpected skill or hobby that you have outside of softball?
Unexpected skill would probably be baking,
Okay.
but it's kind of random. But ever since I was little, like, I used to be obsessed with Food Network
Yes.
or Legos. Like, I still love Legos to this day. I will play with them. Ivy, where my little sister will get them, I'll play with them with her. Like, I love Legos and building them.
Oh,
All right. Well, we have one more question for you. If you could invite 3 softball players to dinner for a night of conversation and advice, who would it be and what would y'all talk about?
Okay, this is kind of a hard one, but I would definitely choose, like, Aaliyah Andrews, Jesse Warren, and, like, Taylor Pleasance.
Okay.
But Aaliyah Andrews and Taylor Pleasance both went to LSU, which is pretty cool to me because they came to Louisiana for a while, and all of them played at the next level. So I would definitely love to talk to them, like, you know, like, what it takes to be a next level player or, like, at such a high level player and, like, what set them apart from everybody else. So I think that'd be pretty cool.
Perfect. Well, that's all the questions we have for you, Maddie. Carrie, do you have anything to add or want to ask her anything?
Well, I think people need to know her story, and it's bigger than just everything that she shared, and it would explain why she has the faith that she has. She's truly a miracle child, and I think every child's a miracle. But I think, and I don't know all of it, but it'll be a good reason to introduce the next guest that's coming on with her. But she was underwater for 4 to 6 minutes with no air, trapped under a four-wheeler. And they brought in a priest to say the last rites and all that kind of stuff. She's not supposed to be sitting here. So she's truly a miracle child and understands probably the word urgency, like what we talked about, more so than ever because of that. And I think the neat thing is people probably don't even know who she's related to. I should say who her mother is. I'll let Maddie introduce her mother and they can talk about their little miracle and how incredible it was. And then Maddie can talk about the miracle she's trying to perform for her mother this next month.
Are you gonna introduce me? I'm your mother.
This is my mom, Jamie Lynn.
Hello, hi. How are you?
Hello.
I feel very lucky to have been able to be raised and surrounded by strong women who, like, went after their goals and accomplish them, no matter what form it took, no matter what road it took to get there. Like the biggest thing is we didn't give up. And I really just think that, without that kind of example, I don't know that, it takes one person to believe in you, and it makes a big difference. Did for me anyways.
And speaking of believing, Maddie's believing in her mother, training her for something pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been such a fun thing to watch her go through this whole process, this whole journey. Like Carrie was saying, she was in an accident that was, we weren't sure what not only did she survive something that most doctors say was a miracle, we don't know how she survived, but she also was questionable, like what would her life look like after that? Like, because when you are without oxygen for that long, you don't know what kind of damage that could do or what life will be like for you afterwards. So she came out fully recovered, and it really, I think, gave not only her but all of us a really significant look at like how seriously you take things and don't take things for granted. And so when she fell in love with something, we fell in love with it just as much, because it didn't matter if she was like, she wanted to, be an artist. It didn't matter what she wanted to do. We were just like, let's go full force into it, because we were so grateful to be able to watch our child do something she loved. And so getting to see her find something she was passionate about, and then get to cheer her on in that, and just kind of, through the good and the bad and, the in between, it really has been an experience that like I've grown as a parent, and now seeing her thrive and, talk to colleges and all these things. It's like, I'm crying like every day. It's like, I can't believe it. I'm just like, it's the coolest thing in the whole entire world to see your kids do something they love and then get to thrive in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So Jamie and Lynn, we have a couple questions for you. So going off of what you just said about watching her, like whether she's an artist or a softball player, like how did Maddie get into softball, and like what was the moment you realized that she was so passionate about it?
Well, she started, like they were saying, a little bit later than most, and she was mainly like her and my husband to spend more time together, something for them to do. There was a local team that was started, and she started playing it, and I don't know, it just kind of turned into something she really loved. And I think it also too was about the friends she was making and those relationships you form. It's more than just going out there and being good at something. It's about like all the life lessons you learn and the relationships you build that kind of creates this little community and starts developing into the life and the person you're going to be. So that was really when she became passionate about it. And then she started picking up with a lot of other teams. They would invite her to come play, and she started, and that's when you really find out, do you love something? When you're taken out of your comfort zone and you're thrown into another one, and you're like, do I still like this? And she did. And so I think when I saw her playing with like girls who were bigger than her, technically probably had a lot more experience than her, and she was hanging. And I think that's when I was like, okay, this is something she really wants to do, not just because all her friends are doing it. She wants to go out, put in the work on her own. And that to me was when I was like, okay, I think we might, take this a little bit more seriously than just like a weekend with our friends at the ballpark.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
I love that. Yeah. So you mentioned, there's many different aspects of softball. It's not just hitting a ball, throwing the ball. It's the friends you make, the confidence you build, all those things. What's your favorite part of watching Maddie play softball?
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous the whole time. I swear, I'm nervous for because you love all the kids. You want every kid, to do wonderful and it'd be the best. It's a game of failure, and you've learned that. So I think that my favorite part, and it's probably the weirdest thing, but like when there's a hard moment, but you see your kid come out on the other side of that, it almost gives you this like approval, like they're going to be okay in life. Like they're learning these moments that are tough. And like, I can't imagine if I'm up there, like this is like a pressure moment in the game and you've got to hit the ball or you've got to catch whatever it is. It's a lot of pressure. And I just see them thrive even in the moments that are, tough. And I think for me as a parent, that's my favorite thing. Whether they do the best thing ever or it's a moment where it didn't fall into place. Either way, you see your kid grow in a way. And I think for me, that's like my favorite part, is being able to see not just her, but her team kind of all pull together and rally. And I don't know, that's been really fun for me, but I'm a nervous wreck the whole time. Like I've aged probably 4,000 years watching them play ball.
That's why we put her in charge of the video. We've given her something to do. When we live stream game,
Yeah,
she's
and then I'm nervous about that too, because the parents are like, we can't see, it's blurry, it's really foggy, can you change it, are we using this app? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know, guys, I just put the camera up there, just do what I'm told.
That is funny.
Real love.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we have one more question for you, and I wanted to ask you this question as a ULM softball alum. That's where I played. Yeah. So, you're recently named the celebrity guest star at the ULM softball celebrity game. How did that opportunity come about, and like, what made you want to participate?
Well, just in my life in general, people ask me to do things that are out of my comfort zone. I tend to say yes because I just feel like there's something really great as a person where you grow when you're a little bit nervous. But two, it's softball, and two, Molly is awesome. I've seen her at a lot of different games, just kind of as a person. She's fun to talk to, and she's doing something to raise money for her girls, and I just want to be a part of that. I've always thought that was important. I think this is, in general, a really exciting time for women's sports, and anything I can do to be a part of that, whether it's embarrassing myself or whether, you never know, guys. I could go out there and really be amazing, and maybe I will also be recruited this year. You have no idea.
You never know. You still got 4 more years.
Exactly. I mean, like, what are the rules? I think I can still go play. I really think that,
Your clock hasn't started.
You got 5 years to play 4.
There you go.
It's hard. It's hard being this thing, but I'm just doing my best to, get out there, have fun. I was happy to be a part of it. Anything like that, for me, it's a no-brainer. And two, there's so many players that she looks up to that are going to be there. So we're going to be the ones that are like starstruck the whole entire time. And if things get real bad, then I'm just going to have her or some of her teammates throw on my jersey and go out there and hit for me and be like, oh my God, she's so good. She's so good.
Oh my.
So, it's just about having fun and doing it for a good reason. And I love Molly, and I was just thankful she asked me to come be a part of it.
Yes, she is an amazing person.
About Jamie Lynn and her family and Maddie is they are really selfless people, and they really do give of their time, and their faith drives who they are. And they're really, truly, honestly, just good human beings, and they're people that you want to be around. So I think I don't know if I've ever heard her say no to anything at this point. Like, I'm like, go get Band-Aids, go get this. And she's just like the first one to always offer to go do it. So she's very genuine in what she does.
Well, I will say, like, Maddie being able to be coached by Carrie as a coach, obviously, I mean, at the beginning, she has a laundry list of reasons why you want to be coached by her. But as a person, as like a human, like, she really gets what these girls need to hear. And not just as a player, but like as a human. And I just really, really have noticed a big difference in Maddie and the way she self-talks to herself, the way she works things out. And I know that has a lot to do with being coached by someone. And I think that's a huge, important conversation going into talking to these colleges is like, what kind of coach or what kind of conversations are you having with them? Because it makes a big difference in who they are as a young player and ultimately as a young lady. So I really have nothing but like gratitude for the fact that she gets to be coached by Carrie. And then, yes, I say yes to everything because why not? And I feel like I've been blessed with more than, literally the biggest gift in the world is God gave me my daughter back. And there was a moment where I wasn't sure that was going to be the case. So I feel like in life, I'm overly abundantly blessed, and anything that I can do, I want to do it, especially when it's something as fun as this. I might look like I'm complete and total moron, but you know what? I'm going to be having a good time.
We're all going to be there cheering y'all, and I'm going to be there cheering y'all. I'm going to start the wave when you get up to bat.
Yeah.
I think it's a good reminder of why y'all play softball. Y'all should need to have a good time on the field. I feel like sometimes they forget that.
You're very
right.
Yeah,
it's just, I'm like, I'm going to definitely be the worst one there. So like, I took that weight off of everyone's shoulders.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask Maddie, how's the training going? How's everything going? Training her up for the game.
I got much better at hitting. Tell them that.
She's gotten a lot better. She actually makes contact now.
There you go.
But she's kind of stubborn sometimes.
Strong-willed.
I love it.
Like, I'll tell her, like, hey, like, maybe you should do this. She's like, I got it. Like,
I've never said that. I am all about learning. I've never said that. I will say, though, that one thing I don't understand is, like, when the ball is coming at them and it's on the ground, like, there's no certainty it's not going to hit you in the face. So, yeah, like, I might kind of, like,
so the ball
I guess that's something that goes away when you're, like, a trained athlete. But, like, that fear has not stopped. Like, if it's going to take a bad bounce, guys, they're just going to get to steal the base because I'm not, I'm
right
not, I don't know. I just don't think that I should do
That's
that.
because you make money with your face.
Yeah,
I don't
the
make
money
money
maker
with my
for sure.
face.
Look, I think Molly's going to really, take advantage of like me not being on the field, but we'll see. Aside from like Maddie, she's going to get the role reversal of like the stress that a parent goes through.
That's
You
true.
know?
She's gonna feel how you feel. Yeah.
I really hope that I just wish I hope she takes it as seriously as like I do when I'm a parent. And so that way she can be up there just having an anxiety attack and see the nerves.
I just think wherever Maddie ends up in college or whoever she's ever playing for, as they get a package, and I think wherever she goes, that place will be better off for her being there.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for being on with us today. I had so much fun. I love learning about
Same.
Maddie, talking to Jamie Lynn, talking to Carrie. I just love what y'all are all doing for softball. It is growing. It's a great time for women's sports, like you said, and I'm just really excited to see, Maddie, your future and what holds for you. I know it's going to be awesome. And I just love hearing that you're, bringing a light to your team and to everyone around you. So thank you again for being on with us today. And we just
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
thank
y'all
you.
for
Thank
doing
you for
this.
your
This is
time.
amazing.